Hi guys, it's Kiarko here, back with another speed build of a character. So this is kind of a different video in which I'm doing the speed build of where the character lives, and then I'll also be showing you as I build the character. And the reason I did that is because this build was kind of small and the character was a really quick one-off, so it was just easier for me to do it in one whole video. Plus it gives you guys a chance to just kind of connect the two together in one video. And the idea behind this video is that it's a mini story of an alien abduction. This is super random. I just kind of had this random idea to do this. And as you can see, the way I started off this build is I kind of placed this mood board in the back of the lot. And that's a mood board that I made in a different video that I'll probably be releasing later. That just kind of shows like my creative process and my, flow when I build and stuff. But that's a mood board in the back for this build. So essentially the way this build works is this character, whose name is Milo, you'll see him later, he lives in this RV. So the way that I do this is you can see the RV there behind this actual little build I'm doing. And basically that RV is the exterior of the RV, and then what I'm doing here is the interior. So you'll kind of see what I'm going for in the photos later on. So what the exterior of this little building looks like that I'm putting together right now is not the actual exterior of what his home is supposed to look like. The exterior of his home is supposed to look like that RV. So as you can see, I matched all the windows to where the windows are placed on the RV, and I matched the door to where the door is placed, so you get more of a sense of that realistic inside-outside feeling. But like I said, that'll probably be more clear to you as you're looking at the screenshots later on. But here I am putting together his little RV. So the idea behind this story, so as I said before, it's an alien abduction story, right? So this guy is one of those, alien enthusiasts. He's an alien hunter. Like, he's the guy who goes out into the middle of the desert in his RV to, put on a tinfoil cap and try to listen to like radio signals in the sky. Like those classic characters in those old movies, like those alien, I don't know. You guys know what I'm talking about. That's kind of his character here. He's very paranoid. He's kind of geeky, kind of nerdy. He has like a lot of he has a lot of conspiracy theories, I would say. But I think that he's a really fun character to play with, especially like putting his space together. I had a lot of fun like figuring out the way his space would look. But as you can see, I'm just putting it all together now. He is a very, very messy character. So you'll see as we progress with putting his RV together, you're gonna see a lot of messes everywhere. It's gonna be dirty plates, trash, clothes all over the floor. Like, he is a messy guy. But he's also really interesting. I really like all these posters I gave him. I gave him a piano, so I figured that maybe he has like some interest in music. Maybe he has like a conspiracy about like the relation between like music and aliens or something. I don't know. I gave him a lot of like what are the VHS tapes. I kind of, I didn't really think about what particular time period this would take place in. I know there's like some things that indicate it's a certain time period and some things that indicate it's another, but I kind of like the idea that this is maybe either this is in like the late 80s or at least it's 80s inspired. I mean, obviously it's probably in the early 2000s just because of certain pieces of technology and little things here and there in this build. But it is a little bit 80s inspired just because of the whole, alien hunter thing. It just reminds me a lot of the 80s for some reason. So I gave him a lot of VHS tapes and things like that. And he has that big old boxy computer there. But this build, it was really fun to do because I kind of it was like a creative relief for me in a way because I was creating such like a messy space for such like a weird paranoid character. I was able to let go of a lot of the things that make me uptight about building, like color palette, like symmetry, like placement, things like that usually drive me insane. I was able to let it go a little bit more in this build. And don't get me wrong, I was still kind of strict about color palette. There's still very specific pieces of color here and there, but I was a lot more looser and free-flowing with how I did this. And I think the reason for that is just because I don't know, I think that I was thinking this more in the story concept, like as if this were like a film set for like a short film or something like that, rather than like, a Sims interior design build. It was more of like a story thing for me. So I think I was able to, be a little looser because of that. I don't know. This is just a really random build I did because I just did this quick little mood board and got this idea, and I thought it would be so fun to do. But yeah, it looks really cool. So this is his desk where he does all his like alien studies and stuff, and you can see his wall has a bunch of papers and posters and stuff like that. So like pieces of evidence, you know, that he's gathering about aliens in the sky, like, oh, like this person, you know, saw an alien over here at these coordinates, and oh, these are like photographs that someone took, like, you know, like it's all that fun stuff, you know. I just had a lot of fun putting this together because I had like so many ideas about, you know, what this guy's personality is like, and you know, the different things that would be in his little RV camper. But you can see I put that little black and white book there, which I figured is maybe like a book of, you know, Polaroids of aliens and stuff. But the fun thing about this entire build is he turns out to be right. In the end of this build, you'll see I take some pictures of him being abducted by aliens in The Sims. But I guess all this hard work paid off because he found the aliens. But I did like the idea of him being this kind of paranoid, a little bit, you know, a little bit wonky guy, but he's definitely a lot of fun to study as a character. But you can see his room's getting pretty messy now. I put that pizza box over there, put some, you know, trash clothes everywhere. I replaced those rock posters with these cabinets just because I figured it was more for his character to have, well, he would need more space basically, and I didn't know if those posters in particular were very indicative of his character, so I changed those out. But now we are doing the kitchen, which is a pretty small kitchen, so I kind of had to make do with the space that I had, but I gave him this little mini fridge. I'm using the same cabinets as before. I really like these cabinets and counters. They have like a really vintage feeling to them. Like they look kind of like, I don't know, I want to put a decade to it because someone's gonna say, no, you're wrong, that's not the right decade, but they kind of feel a little bit 70s, 80s to me, maybe even 60s, I don't know. That's a wild range of guesses there, but I don't know. I think they're cool counters. They just look really vintage to me. But as you can see, I'm just decorating his kitchen. He has a microwave and he has a countertop stove, so there's no like real stove since it's like an RV, you know? But here I'm putting in, let's see, more little details. This build is super, super detailed. Like I put in a lot of little things here and there, you know, just because I just had a lot of fun doing this, I don't know. More trash because he's a messy boy. We're gonna put in, let's see, a little space for him to sit down and eat / you know, watch stuff on the little TV screen I'm gonna put on there. But let's see, what am I doing here? I almost gave him a boombox, but I really couldn't find the right place to put it, so scratch that. But this table is going to be covered in papers and stuff like that, you know, mail he hasn't answered, you know, a bunch of bills he hasn't paid, random books about alien stuff that he's reading, alien hunter, alien guide stuff, stack of newspapers, maybe he's like reading a bunch of old stories about alien sightings and stuff like that. Gave him that little TV monitor thing where he can, you know, watch the news or something like that. More trash on the ground, more papers, and then on this wall we're gonna put I think that calendar, which I thought was very fitting since it has like the desert on the calendar and that's where he is, so maybe he bought that calendar at like a nearby gift shop or something like that. I thought that was really cute. Gave him an ironing board, though he probably doesn't really use his ironing board that much. It's probably just for, you know, storage purposes. But yeah, just putting some stuff on top of there. Gave him some cans of food because he's got to eat, stacks of, you know, classified files that he found on the internet and stuff like that, box of files, more, you know, stuff on the wall. Let's see, what are we gonna put here? I think I put like a clothes rack, yeah, so he can hang in whatever he has on, his beanie, scarf, jacket, stuff like that. Because, you know, this is a small space, so he's definitely going to need a lot of storage, so I try to use the wall space as much as I could for storage purposes. And this little area right by the door is pretty small and cramped, so I just kind of made it a little trash space / like you have that AC conditioner, I don't know, that little unit there. Giving him some alien stuff here, and then, let's see. Oh, I put that UFO up there just to like, I was just like kind of playing around with the idea of the abduction, but that's not really gonna be relevant to the screenshots or to the build. But he is gonna be abducted by like in-game aliens later on in the screenshots, you'll see. But yeah, put in this little, like a little fan up there so he can, you know, if he's too hot, he can turn on the fan, I guess. And then a little shelf that it's sitting on. Now we're gonna do, are we doing the bathroom yet? Are we? I don't know. Yes, no, yes. Oh, we're almost gonna do the bathroom. Just finishing up this wall right here. And then the bathroom is also pretty cramped. You know, to be totally honest, I don't think that this build is probably workable in game. Like, I'm not sure if all the pathways would work for like the objects and stuff, but you know, it's kind of purely an aesthetic build. But it's so fun, isn't it? I just love doing builds like this that are just really story and character based, where I can just really like play around with a lot of different ideas. But yeah, as you can see, his bathroom is a little bit grimy, a little bit gross, but you know, at least he has his own shower. He has trash can in there, and let's see what else we're gonna put in. Don't quite remember. Oh, a little radio, so you can listen to the radio while he showers. Oh, that's cute. I'm saying that as if I didn't build it myself, but you know, I forget sometimes the little things that I do here and there. A little shelf here, little, let's see, bottles of soap and shampoo and stuff like that, so he can, you know, wash himself. And then we're gonna put in a little toilet cleaner, a little box of tissues, and then let's see, I thought about putting this pizza somewhere. I couldn't find a place for it, so I just grabbed the pizza. Put in a plunger, you know, in case the toilet gets clogged, obviously. And then I'm gonna put in last little details, little pieces of paper everywhere. And yeah, that is it for this build. This video is not over yet, obviously. We're gonna go into the character build next, and then I'll show you the abduction photos. But here are the screenshots. This was so much fun to do. Like, if you guys always give me ideas, and I love your ideas, and please keep giving me ideas. But I'm not only open to interior design or aesthetic ideas. Like, you guys can also give me, you know, mini story ideas. Like, why don't you build the house of a character who, you know, like, I don't know, like murdered his sister and it's like a crime scene or something like that. You know, like even the little story-based things are always really fun. Like, this is just a little build based off of an alien-obsessed man who gets abducted by aliens in the end, you know, and I got the opportunity to build this whole RV, and I built the character himself, and it's just a lot of fun, you know. It's kind of like designing a mini film. It's like designing a mini short story, I guess, but yeah. Wow, that's a messy room. This is a gross RV, but it's also kind of cool. Would you guys ever live in an RV? Or have you ever lived in an RV, or do you live in an RV? I feel like it's a really cool lifestyle, you know, like the people who live in vans and RVs and stuff. It just seems really, really cool. Let's see, we're almost done with the screenshots here. You can see all the little details there, and that's what it looks like from the exterior. So you get the sense that this is the exterior, and all the screenshots I showed you are the interior of this RV. And that little van is front is what he drives to, you know, move his RV to different places. But here we are to put together the character now. His name is Milo Styles, which I thought was a really interesting name. I thought the name Milo especially was pretty cute for him. But here I'm putting him together. Originally I wanted him to be a ginger. I tried to make him to have a ginger hair, but I just couldn't like make it work because all the slightly orange hair colors in the game are just like super orange, like fire truck red, and I wanted something a little bit softer, so I ended up just making him a brunette. But the original concept was for him to be a ginger, just kind of I thought it would be really cute like that. But he is going to be a brunette in the end, because that's just, I wanted the orange to be a little bit more toned down, but you know, it's okay. That's my fault. I need to download better custom content hairs, I guess. But isn't he cute? I love his messy hair like this. I feel like he's a cute guy. We're gonna put in a beanie for him because he's obviously a beanie guy. It took me a second to kind of figure out what his vibe was with his clothing. You can see me like optioning a lot of different things here. In the end, I think I eventually just give him a hoodie and sweatpants because I thought that was like the most accurate to his character. This like zip up hoodie was a pretty strong contender, but I did end up changing it. And let's see, yeah, that one was also a pretty strong contender, but I went with this tie-dye one because I thought that was super alien. Like, it has a lot of Alien Hunter vibes on it. I love the tie-dye look. I love the texture of it. It's so cool. But I gave him, let's see, putting sweatpants on him here. I'm trying to find those sweatpants that I want. Yeah, these are the sweatpants that I'm going with, and then I give him socks and a pair of like Converse sneakers. Let's see, now we're doing his formal wear. I just kind of quickly go through into the rest of his outfits just so you guys can get a sense of, you know, his general character. I mean, none of these outfits are really relevant, but you can kind of see what he would dress like in these different scenarios if you're interested in the character of Milo Styles. But yeah, so here's his formal wear. I kind of went with like a lot of, like I said before, this is inspired by a lot of different time periods. Like, it's not one particular time period. Like, I know earlier I said it was like kind of 80s, but it's just really 80s inspired. And that includes a little bit of his wardrobe too. It's just kind of from different, you know, decades. Just kind of a nostalgic feel in general I was going for with his outfits. His hot weather outfit, I gave him this t-shirt, which I thought was kind of funny and kind of, you know, relevant to his character as well. And then for his cold weather outfit, I just did, you know, a very simple jacket, shoes. But this is Milo. He is he's geeky, he's paranoid, he's a good sim. Like, he's good in his heart, like, he's a good guy. He's also a loner, and like I said, he is very, very messy. His name is Milo, and then I kind of went around for his last name, but I eventually just settled on Styles. So this is Milo Styles. He's very cute. This is him in his RV. So I'm just going to show you some quick screenshots of him just being himself, hunting aliens, doing his alien hunter thing. I don't know if that's the right word, alien hunter. He's more like a alien, like an enthusiast, I guess, is more accurate. But as you can see, he's, you know, at his desk doing alien stuff. And this is him being abducted. Oh no, the aliens have come and he's being abducted. But this was probably the happiest day of his life, you know, because he's like, ah, yes, I was right, you know. Anyways, that was the, you know, speed build / character build. I hope you guys enjoyed this. Let me know if you like this style of video where I do both together, where I do like character, story-based builds. And yeah, thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you next time.